Good Saturday evening, South Carolina Weather Watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Peterson. Let's go in and talk about the weather for your Saturday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight. As always, we will be talking about the current weather, what's going on right now throughout the state. We also will talk about what's going on with the weather just tonight as well. Just not just currently, but tonight. And then we'll also be talking about the weather, obviously, for the future. That, and then we will talk about our patterns with our cool temperatures, cold fronts, troughs that will move in. And then we will also talk about the tropics and our November forecast. I do have a bit of an announcement to make, though, before we go on and do that. Last night, pretty much almost all week, I've been saying that we would be doing a November forecast and a winter 2025-2026 forecast. That was a mistake. I guess because it's already getting cold. I thought, oh, well, I guess it's about wintertime. No. Winter doesn't start until December 1st, not November 1st. So just a quick mix up real quick. So no, there will not be a winter one tonight. That will be obviously next month. And so that will not, again, that will not be tonight. So we're just going to do November. That we're just going to be doing November. And so without further ado, let's go on and get started. Let's not waste any more time. In terms of what's going on currently right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina, absolutely nothing is going on. We look nice and dry right now. Nice and dry right now. If we go even further into our look at the entire U.S., you can see that we do in fact have some rainfall going on that not only goes over inside of Washington, but also goes over inside of Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, going into Louisiana, going even inside of Texas as well. Some rainfall, thunderstorm activity going on in southeastern Texas. Now that obviously is producing some severe weather. We saw like 3-inch in diameter hail going on over there inside of Corpus Christi, or just to the north of Corpus Christi. And so that will be, a concern for them, but didn't really get into the Corpus Christi metro area. Kind of just went to the north of it, so that's a good thing over there. Now for cloud cover, we do in fact have some cloud cover ongoing that goes up into like the far upstate, but other than that, it stays clear for pretty much the majority of us from Columbia to Florence all the way down towards the coastal areas, nice and clear. Same thing if we push it into the future, you want to push this forward, you start to see maybe some fog activity, but maybe as you go into tonight in like the low country, the PD, the Grand Strand area. And so, other than that though, that's all I can see here. Cloud cover may try to move its way back as you go throughout the upstate and going throughout the low country and pretty much a good amount of the state just as we go into like tomorrow afternoon-ish. This looks almost like the late morning to the early afternoon is what this is right here. So it shows definitely an increase in cloud cover. Current temperatures right now, 49 in Greenville as well as 49 in Spartanburg, 49 in Gaffney, and 48 in York and Rock Hill, 47 in Lugoff, and 51 in Columbia, 49 in Greenwood, as well as 51 in Aiken, 50 in Orangeburg, as well as 54 in Georgetown, 50 inside of Conway, and 56 in Myrtle Beach and Murrells Inlet, 54 in North Myrtle Beach, and 56 in Charleston. We also do have around 57 in Beaufort and 59 in Hilton Head, and we even have around 48 in Bennettsville. Low temperatures for tonight will be around 43 in Greenville, 41 in Spartanburg, as well as 40 in Rock Hill, 40 also in Winsboro and Newberry, as well as 40 in Camden, 41 inside of Columbia, and 43 in Orangeburg, 41 also inside of Sumter, and 40 in Kingstree, 45 in Moncks Corner, and 43 in Walterboro, 52 in Charleston, and 56 in Hilton Head Island, 47 in Georgetown, and 50 in Myrtle Beach. For the rainfall for tonight, good amount of rainfall is possible. 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch goes in for Sumter, goes in for Florence, Cheraw, Dillon, Myrtle Beach, Georgetown. And so those areas will potentially get 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch. And somebody in that area might even receive a good 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch. It's possible. It definitely is possible. So a 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch is possible for sure. Now for the crazy score, we are at a 12. We are at a 12 for tonight. It's going to be a pretty calm night tonight. Dry conditions, chilly temperatures, clear to increasing cloud cover. And there will be a transitional cooling period. High pressure shifts east. That upper trough will amplify in the west, and it will begin a moisture return. But for the most part, the rain holds off. I'll talk about that in just a second when we go look at the models. But for right now, that's what it looks like. Now, if we go into thunderstorm activity for Saturday, tonight, no thunderstorm activity is expected, but tomorrow is where thunderstorm activity is possible. That goes for Florence, that goes for Myrtle Beach. Pretty much all of the PD and the Grand Strand area has a chance for thunderstorms tomorrow. The eastern low country, that's for like Berkeley County going into eastern Charleston County, that also has a chance for thunderstorms. And even the eastern Midlands has a chance for thunderstorm activity. Now for Monday, we also do have another thunderstorm risk, but this time it's for like the lower low country going into the coastal low country area. Excessive rainfall. No excessive rainfall is expected for us. We're good. No flash flooding is expected. We are good. So let's go in and look at the models now. We're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. And as we go in and push this forward, we're not seeing any rainfall. I mean, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, still nice and dry. We start to see some potentially isolated to not really too heavy rainfall ongoing for like the coastal low country going into the coastal Grand Strand areas. Even as you go to 9 to 10 to even 11 o'clock in the morning, it still shows kind of like that shower activity still along the coastal areas, but not quite making it to inland, if that makes sense. Even if you go even further into the future, you want to push this forward. Look at the difference, by the way. This was updated at 3 o'clock. This is what they thought it was going to be at 1 p.m., but this is what the new one says. A complete shift here. And what the models think. The one from earlier thinks that it is going to be a bit more of a more widespread event, a more coverage event. But if we go on and push this forward right here, shows a huge amount of rainfall making it into like the PD areas by around 2 to 3, 4, 5 p.m. Huge amount of rainfall moving through to 7, 8, 9 p.m. going to 10, 11, and 12 a.m. Rainfall pushes its way through, goes through, and then once you get to around 1 o'clock in the morning, you can see actually like this line right here. You see this line right here of rainfall, kind of like this rain shield right here. This is probably the trough right here if I was to take a good guess. I can see the way how it takes this curve. This looks like at least this looks right here like a trough. You have the cold air in the middle, you have the rain here on the eastern side and the western side. And then if you continue to push this way over east even more, and when I say east, I just mean more into the future, that trough will move its way out. We still will have some rainfall with it, but for the most part, it looks like that most of that rainfall will be inside that PD and that Grand Strand area, which is why we have the majority of the rainfall for tonight being inside of that 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch for tonight, tomorrow, and then also even further into the future as well. So that's what it's looking like. That trough is going to be over there bringing up that rainfall. And in terms of timing with this, I mean, this would go all the way, like I said, all the way from tomorrow afternoon, possibly even into like 1 p.m. on Monday. And it not only includes the PD, but also the Midlands as well. Let's go on and talk about our long-term future now. So long-term future, there goes the trough right there. Going to push its way out. High pressure takes over. It's now November the 5th. And then as you go on and continue that forward even more, still stay nice and dry. As you go into November the 8th, though, things will change. We have another low pressure moving its way through. Is that a cold front? Kind of looks like it. If we go on and look at the dew points, we can go on and take a look at that real quick. You can go on and see right here. Yeah, I think that is definitely some cooler air. Not quite sure if that cold front will really be doing much. I don't really think it is too much of a cold front. But that's November the 5th. That's, 100 hours out. So once we get more into that time frame, we can look at the actual we can look at the actual graphics and see what they have for it. But it's still 100 hours out, so we're going to wait on that a little bit more, see how this all plays out. But it looks like just like a lot of dry air. We go even further, though. This one definitely for sure looks like a cold front behind it, though. It looks kind of dry, though. Definitely looks a lot drier than most cold fronts, so a dry front. But another one pushed through is after that, the 13th, going to the 14th. And just look at all this heavy rainfall that's pushing its way through as we get past the 300-hour mark. So it looks like, for the most part, that it's just going to be the same pattern. We have our high pressure, nice stable atmosphere, maybe a bit warmer, but still stable. And then we'll have the cold fronts come in, and it will bring us that cooler weather. And so that's why we're receiving our cooler weather now, due to cold fronts. So let's go on, since that is out of the way, and talk about our forecast for the month of November. So this is for, obviously, November the 1st, Saturday, going into November the 30th, which is on a Sunday. We have 5 Sundays this month. And so we'll go on and do that on the last day. So that last one is going to be, I might go on and I'll figure out what to do when I get there. But if we go to the Climate Prediction Center real quick, go to their forecast, and we go on and look at their 1 month outlook. We're going to go on and look at temperatures first. So here is the outlook for the month of November in terms of temperatures. In terms of temperatures, it will be an equal chance month. So what does that mean? That means that temperatures are going to be average for this month, what we would usually see during the month of November. Does that mean that we will be receiving warmer, not warmer, or not cooler temperatures? It's always going to be the same? Absolutely not. It just means that there's going to be an equal chance for both air masses, both warm and cool, to get their turn over the state of South Carolina. So that's what that means by equal chances. So an equal and just normal November for temperature-wise. What about precipitation? Below average. So that means that we will be receiving less rainfall than average for the month of November, and we're going to be seeing less than usual. Now, it's not going to be too bad, around a 33 to a 40% chance for just dry conditions. But for now, it looks like that we will stay in that below average territory. And like I said, that can vary from week to week. We can have an above average week, and then we can have a below average week, but it just means more weeks will be most likely below average than above average. So now if we go even further, and we go in and talk about just the actual air masses themselves, the anomalies themselves, go on over here back to the models to where we just ended off on. And you can see, like I said, we start off cool, and you see some warm air peeking through. I mean, this is November the 5th, going into the 6th. I mean, warmer air. We will have some warmer air. But cooler air definitely tries to get through as well. But then we get taken over again with some more warmer air as we get into, like, the halfway point of November. It looks like, and that looks like a huge amount of warm air. In terms of temperatures, exactly. I can't really talk about exact, but I mean, temperatures in the 60s and 70s, and obviously that doesn't seem hot, but for this time of year, that definitely is a lot warmer than what we would usually see for this time of year. So that's why you have these temperatures, and you can kind of see like it turning a lot more of a lighter color, just because that's around 12 to around 16 degrees above average. But I do see a lot of warm, but I'm guessing if it's looking like this for the main first half of the month, I wonder what the last half looks like, and I can probably guess it's probably going to be a bit more on the cooler side. It's the same thing right here for the NMEE as well. This was for, which I should probably go back real quick. This is for September, right here. Well, this actually is 3 months, I think. So actually, no, that's September, October, November. So I can't look at that one. Monthly is the one that I want. If you go into November, this one says pretty much the same thing, warmer than average temperatures, and then in terms of precipitation, for us, below average. So it looks like that we're going to have a below average precipitation month, but then in a kind of like just like a more equal to maybe above average temperature season, and then below average precipitation. And that is really all that I have to say for the month of November. Nothing else really for me to say. I mean, I could go on and look at, what's going to happen in terms of rainfall and stuff like that, but that's not really going to tell me much. Just because, I mean, that's over, like 600 hours or so? So that's just way too far of a time frame. I mean, this is 300 hours on November the 17th, and it shows a good 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in the upstate, but shows a lot less near the coastal areas, and that might have to be something that we're going to have to look at as we get further into the month, but it's just too far out. Nothing really I could say there. I can only really just talk about averages. And now, I do want to go on and talk about the tropics, because absolutely nothing is going on. Absolutely nothing is going on. As we go through the next 7 days, it looks like that it's going to be a nice next 7 days or so inside of the Atlantic. Could change. Things change in the weather all the time, so things can definitely change. If we go even further into the future, though, I mean, I see some stuff going on in the Southern Caribbean, but, I mean, after that, this is what the Atlantic looks like on November the 11th. That's it. Now, we're not done with tropical season. Obviously, that ends December the 1st, and that's when we'll be done. I would say, yes, you can, put down your... I wouldn't say put down your guard. That's a bad term to use, but I just say not really have to pay attention so much, and really don't have to pay attention at all to the tropics, but definitely still would keep your guard up. But that's when it's officially over. And so I'm still saying make sure you still have your hurricane plans in place, because it's not over until it's over. And that is all that I have for the tropics. And so let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And you have to be a subscriber of the channel. You have to have an account, because the chat is on subscriber-only mode. So we're going to start off here with Mr. Chris first. First in the chat tonight says, good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Good evening to you. Also says, please remember, go hit the like button and the subscribe button if you haven't. Also share with everyone that you know. He's absolutely correct. We have 11 people tuned in so far and only 6 likes. We need the other group to go on and hit the like button. Because like I said, 11 people are here. And right now, we only have 6 likes, so make sure you go in and do that. He also says, started off cold in Moncks Corner, stayed a little cool, but not bad. It was pretty cool earlier. I was out there around 2 hours ago or so, maybe 3, somewhere around there, or not 3, but around 2 to 1.5 hours ago or something like that. And it was definitely cooler. Definitely was still cooler. My name says, hello, Jay, a nice day. Glad to hear that. Hello to you. Trail says, greetings, everyone. Beautiful day here. Glad to hear that it was a beautiful day to where you were. And then my Aunt Lewis says, good evening, everyone. So sorry that I'm late. No problem at all. You still made it. I'll tell you, Georgetown, it was nice and sunny. Glad to hear that as well. And that's all I can see inside the chat. Again, if you want to be part of the chat, you can. You just have to be a subscriber of the channel. I will come back to the chat, though. But first, which I was supposed to do the drought monitor on Thursday, but then I got caught up with some stuff that I forgot about. So I decided to push it back to Friday, but then I got through Friday's forecast, and I'm like, wait, the drought monitor. And at that time, I'm pretty sure there was only like 2 or 3 people left in the chat. So I'm just like, yeah, I'll just push it to tomorrow, which is today. So we're just going to go on and show, if you have your prediction for the drought monitor, that's good. We won't have a poll for it, though. So I'm going to, if you haven't put it out yet, I'm going to get the drum roll real quick. So that's what it was. That is what the drought monitor was. And so I can kind of see what it was like. I can kind of see why they would go on and issue it like that. If I go back to the observation, I go back to the observed precipitation, we saw a good amount of rainfall over the past 7 days. Now, that does include yesterday and today, even though there wasn't really much rainfall at all. But I mean, we had a good 3 to 4 inches of rainfall up there in the far upstate where that none is. But in terms of where it was over there inside of like the low country, especially like where Allendale County is, only got around didn't even get like a half an inch of rainfall. So that drought is still there, and the drought also up there inside of the like York County over there inside of Lancaster and Chester County. Those areas are still inside of a D2, and they got around a good 2 inches of rain. Didn't really do anything to the drought, so we still gonna need some more rainfall there. So the drought still sustains as we go through, at least this week until Thursday. And so that's the drought monitor right there. Hopefully, I'm sorry that took me a bit, but I still got it out in a kind of timely manner. It took about 48 hours, but I still got it out, so that's good. So let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. Let's go on and talk about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and also Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about those locations is because we have people from those areas who tune in almost nightly, and so they come in, show support to the channel, and even though their location not being talked about, they still go on and support. So because of that, we go on and do their forecast for them over here on the channel for the support that they give. So starting off with San Antonio first, you have low temperatures tonight at 53, high temperatures tomorrow at 74, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 51. Slight chance of showers tonight, but other than that, tomorrow, nice and dry. There is no severe weather and no excessive rainfall that is expected at this time for you. Now, what about Raleigh, North Carolina? Low temperatures tonight at 39, high temperatures tomorrow at 64, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 51. No precipitation is expected, but tomorrow night rain is likely, so make sure that you watch for that. Frost, some patchy frost is also expected as you go into tomorrow morning, so that might have to be something that you look out for there. For Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 39, high temperatures tomorrow at 62, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 44. No precipitation is expected at this time, and no excessive rainfall, severe weather, or anything like that for you. And then for Duncan, Oklahoma, you have low temperatures tonight at 36, high temperatures tomorrow at 68, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 44 or 45. No precipitation is expected, no severe weather, no excessive rainfall. You're good there too. And so that is all for those 4 locations. What's going on throughout the entire U.S.? What is going on right now? Well, it looks like, for the most part, gusty winds are expected from portions of the mid-Atlantic into the northeast through the night following the system that brought rain to the area. An atmospheric river will move into the northwest late today into Saturday. Not quite sure why they say late today into Saturday, but maybe it was just a typo. Bringing moderate to heavy rainfall, mountain snow, windy conditions, and high surf to the area over the weekend. So it looks like, for the most part, that we're going to have some high winds over there. You're going to have maybe even some fire concerns as the red flag warnings are going on over there. Freezing will also go from Missouri to southwestern Illinois to Kansas, southeastern Kansas to parts of Oklahoma, and northeastern part and the northern parts, and then in Arkansas as well. We'll also see some freezing conditions for them. Frost will also be ongoing not only in North Carolina, but Virginia and inside of New Jersey. And then severe weather going on down there in southeastern Texas as we speak. And that's all that I see really for right now. So let's go on and check out the chat one more time. Thad says, good evening, Joseph. Sorry we had a late dinner. We got a little rain today. Enjoy enough to wet the soil. And that is pretty much what was expected. I mean, for you tonight, slight chance of shower activity, it verified. It verified for sure. So that 20% did verify. Even though there's an 80% chance of it not happening, still happens. And that's why I always say those low chances, even though they seem low, in the weather, anything's, even if it's a 1%, 2%, they can still happen. And that's all that I have. I don't see anything outside the chat again. Apologies for the mistake where I said I would be talking about the winter forecast. That was supposed to be next month, not this month, so we really only just did the November forecast for this month, and then next month for December the 1st, we'll be doing winter. That is all, though. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Saturday evening. Top fans, I did forget to do that. Mr. Chris at number 1, Trails at number 2, and then my Aunt Lula's at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans for tonight. And now that's actually it. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Saturday evening, and I will be back tomorrow morning with your Sunday morning forecast update. Make sure that you're here tomorrow night as well for our evening forecast update, because we'll be talking about the first full week of November, the 2nd going into the 8th.